Hello again, and welcome to another exciting episode of Polysaturated. This is episode 23, and I am here. I am one of your hosts, Crow, and I am here with
Zan
and
Jay,
and we are coming to you not live.
No, well, I mean, we're alive,
edited,
and you
we're
sound
coming to you alive.
but you sound a little too excited for this episode.
Better than for us to come to you dead.
This
We're
episode,
zombie podcasting.
I think there is a zombie podcast.
zombie.
I'm sure there's like podcasts for everything.
We want your brains.
Good luck with that one.
They're in your head.
Because we're severely lacking them. I'm the only
Whoa.
one with some here.
Oh,
Boom.
burn.
Roasted. Not even
I-
5 minutes in.
Actually, we are technically 5 minutes in.
No, because we
we've
started
been-
off with a lot of bullshit.
Yeah, that we're
Yeah.
gonna cut out.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
in case you want to hear that bullshit, just become a Patreon, and we will send you the cut reel.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
we are discussing, in this episode, drum roll.
Breakups.
Breakups.
No. Breakups does not need a drum roll because it sucks.
Breaking up is hard to do.
Breakups.
No, not breakdowns. That's a whole
She said
different episode.
breakups. She did
I
not say
said
breakdowns.
breakups.
I know. But you were like having a breakdown or something. No.
I was breaking it down.
Breaking it
Oh,
down.
well, okay.
Like so many other things in our podcast, we're going to take a fairly lighthearted approach to a serious topic.
Obviously.
Oh, we got to.
Yeah. And, let's dive right in. So,
Okay.
Zan wanted to talk about this, so
Really?
he has something
You're
to
gonna-
tell us.
Or tell all of you, I guess.
I got bad news, guys.
Mm?
I didn't save a lot of money by switching to Geico.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
damn.
But did you get your car's extended warranty?
I didn't do that either.
I'm told they're trying to reach you.
Anyway, this is probably one of the... I mean, breaking up is hard to do. Sometimes it's completely necessary. But
You can't
it's-
see, but I'm hitting my head on the desk right now. Go ahead.
What desk?
Yeah, really. We don't really
A
have a
desk.
desk in here. It's a table.
Please. It is a desk.
It-
When it's done like this, it's a desk. This is a desk.
So, speaking of breakups, Crow got bad news.
Oh, damn.
You're voted off the island.
I am the geekest link. Goodbye.
One thing that's hard to get across to monogamous friends about poly relationships is the breakup. They find it so difficult to understand. It's like, well, you still have somebody.
Oh, I hate that.
Well,
Yes.
yeah, but it's not the same as still breaking up with somebody. You
Right.
still have that pain and that ache and that heartache, that heartbreak that's just there. And it's so hard when you reach out to your friends, especially if your friends are on the monogamous, side of things, that they just can't understand. It's like, well, you're not that bad off because you still have somebody.
It's like they're trying to tell you, well, at least you're not alone.
Right.
But the thing is, with any comforting language, if you're using the word least,
Right.
you're starting off on the wrong foot.
Yeah, it's already, you can stop.
Very few comforting things start with the word least.
Right. Now, I haven't been through too many breakups in a polycule. So Jay and I's first go at polyamory happened many, many, many moons ago. And, well,
Her eyes just got really wide.
yeah, really wide. It was our first venture into polyamory, and the breakup did not go well and caused some strain between Jay and I because we were young and didn't understand a lot, and we weren't as seasoned as we are now. We went into the relationship with a good friend of ours. She was Jay's bestie in high school and everything like that. And before we went into the relationship, Jay and I had a conversation. And the conversation went along the lines of, well, we need to have rules. Since this is our first venture into something like this, again, at the time, we didn't know what polyamory was. We didn't. It just wasn't a thing that we knew of at the time. It did not exist in our world. So we went into it with the thought of, okay, if one person says it's off, then it's off. It's completely, done. We're done with it. And Jay was seeing things that I wasn't seeing in a relationship. And so when Jay wanted to break it off, I was like, I really don't want to. So that whole, once one person says it's off, did not go smooth.
Damn.
At all.
Well, and a lot of people argue now that that's called unicorn hunting, and that's the hierarchy, the hierarchical.
Hierarchical?
hierarchical.
How does one say that?
I don't know. Moving on.
That's the hierarchical.
Just go with it. Just
we
move
does
it on.
words.
Hierarchical
Privilege.
privilege. That's the hierarchical privilege of having a primary partner and then bringing just only one person in, because that person is then feeling pressured. Like he said, we were just getting started. We had no idea. And I mean, we obviously knew we were doing polyamory, but we didn't know there was a definition for what we were doing.
Right. So that breakup did not go too well. It lasted probably about a month. We figured...
No, it was longer than that. She moved in with us.
Yeah, well, she had moved in with us, and then we started dating her. She was living with us when we had the conversation.
Oh, I don't remember that.
We figured, if we're going to do this, wouldn't this be a great person to try it with? She was up for it. She's always had a crush on Jay. We gave it a shot. Again, it didn't work out too well. Things, happened. Things were...
She would cray.
Oh, I was going to try to be a little easy on it, but no, she was cray. She was cray.
Call a fish a fish.
Yeah. She afterwards we found out she actually started dating a friend of ours, and our friend was telling us all kinds of stuff that she was saying about us. She said I was planning on leaving Jay for her, and all kinds of stuff that we've never had conversations about ever. Well, so and she said I was planning on leaving Jay, which was not something I was planning on doing at all. So that was fun. And that actually put us off of polyamory for a while, because we're like, we don't want to fuck that up again.
Well, we've had long breaks in between looking, because we were kind of like, we don't really like drama.
Yeah, we don't.
So...
We don't like drama.
We were talking about how a lot of times monogamous friends and family are really not supportive of the breakup because they think you should be fine.
Right.
Another thing that happens between the poly and monogamous people when there is a breakup is the monogamous people have this inhuman or inhumane tendency to... That breakup validates their thoughts
of why polyamory doesn't work.
You broke up, so therefore polyamory doesn't work.
But wait a minute. Do monogamous people have breakups too?
Never. No, they don't. They don't? Humans mate for life. They do.
They're like penguins.
Yes. They hand over a special kind of rock.
One of the things that I loved about when we moved here, it was that we met Crow for the first time, and I think one of the very first conversations we actually had, it was well before we were dating. Basically, it was Zan and I had broken off a relationship with a girlfriend that we had from the place where we moved, and it was kind of rocky for a while, but especially because we were moving out of state.
Mm-hmm.
And we moved here to our new state with a broken heart.
Yeah, that was rough.
So not only were we moving 1,000 miles away, we were also healing and also finding new community, also a million other things. We found the book club through Crow and then X. One of the things when I shared with him what we were going through was about the book club, and it was about just basically saying that it would be nice for me then to have a community of people who wouldn't tell me, well, at least you still have Zan. And, that would understand the heartbreak we were going through. That was really refreshing, because that is what you get a lot of times. Honestly, you even get that in the polyam community.
Mm-hmm.
You get that with people who have primary partners, and no, not support, but just kind of like downplaying of the pain you're experiencing because they course through partners like body wash.
I kind of like to stick to my body wash once I find a good one.
You don't use the same one for eternity. You throw the bottle away eventually because it's empty.
Yeah, okay.
Or let's just say like underwear then. People course through partners like that, and they kind of dismiss you in that way.
Oh, to our people out there who cycle through partners and are happy with that, we're not judging you. We just have noticed that people who form more permanent bonds in a polyamorous spectrum are more on the poly end as opposed to the swinger end of the spectrum. There can be a bit of a division there, and sometimes one group doesn't really support the other. So there's a breakup, and it's kind of like, and the people on this side are saying, oh, well, Yeah, let's go out tonight.
Yeah, let's just go do whatever. No,
Let's go find you
not.
another one. Go find you 2 more. You'll be happy.
So when it comes to breaking up, there's so many facets we can talk about.
Mm-hmm.
There's the pain that people don't understand. There's the types of breakups you can have. There's there's so many different things that can happen. Just as it can in a monogamous life.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many different things that can happen. Cheating is still a thing. Divorce is still a thing. Breakups are still a thing. Just separations are still a thing. It's all, just you have more people now.
Right.
And so it kind of complicates things. And so when it comes to breaking up, it's never easy.
Right.
Ever.
No.
Ever.
You just have a richer, more involved dynamic usually because there's more people
Right.
along for the process.
And what Jay was talking about with our girlfriend before we moved, it was really complex for me because when Jay and her started dating, I wasn't dating her. And so it was her girlfriend. And then later on it moved into her being my girlfriend too, which was like a month or so down the road. But the thing is as I was getting feelings and getting involved, things went rocky between Jay and her. And so she would disappear for a bit. She was really, really, really bad at communication.
Take a sip.
Yeah. Today's sips are brought to you by Cafe
Tea.
Bustelo and
Caffeine.
And tea.
tea. So she was really bad at it. Whenever I'm starting to get the feels for her and everything, she would disappear, and it's like, what the fuck? So I would withdraw my feelings and stuff like that, kind of shut down for a bit, and then she would come back into the picture. And this was on and off, so I never got the full involvement in the relationship because she just kept disappearing until we're just like, you know what, we're done. We're just done. And it still hurt. And it's so hard for people to understand that even though, I had Jay, even though Jay had me, even though, we were experiencing different levels of breakup at the same time, our monogamous friends and family did not quite understand what we're going through. And in the same aspect, if you're not out, how do you explain this? Why are you hurting so much? Well, I just lost a love.
Right. And then trying to explain it to the people you're not out to, and you can't.
No.
Yeah. Well, my friend doesn't talk to me anymore.
Oh,
You're this upset?
Yeah. Why are you this upset? Because your friend is no longer in the picture.
Yeah, it creates a whole new dynamic, and it's lonely. It's hard because people can't be there for you. I mean, up until we met Crow and X, we weren't out to our family and a good majority of our friends.
Yeah.
And we only made the decision to become more out when we looked at our lives and said, there's certain things we want to do, and it's going to be out. You can't do it in. You can't.
We wanted to do it together as a family. And it's kind of hard to do that whenever you're completely hidden. Well, the good thing is that we have a fairly large poly community in the things that we do.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's certain events that we would go to that, guess what? Most of the people here are poly.
Yeah.
It just kind of, it worked itself out that way. Which is strange for this area, but it's very interesting how that happened. But it's great at the same time. It's like you're not being looked at any differently than whenever.
And you're being supported.
So that's a good thing about having, being involved in a poly community is having somebody to go to and being the support for somebody that's going through something rough that other people just can't understand.
I'm over here nodding into the microphone.
That helps, Crow. That really helps, Crow.
We need somebody to narrate the actions in the room.
Crow is now nodding his head.
So there's different types of breakup in the poly community as well, because we are more so than monogamous families. Poly people are more likely to redefine a relationship as opposed to completely sever it.
Yeah,
So
it's like now we're just friends. We're not,
it might drop a tear. It might change the way it is.
the
They're
hierarchy will change.
Yeah, no longer nesting, but still together. Now they're a comet because they moved away to get a better job, but the relationship didn't end.
Yeah.
That's kind of a nifty thing about being polyamorous is you don't have to stop loving somebody just because they're not in your life anymore. Whereas a monogamous person, it's a little hard to explain. You still got feelings for your ex or for this this other person in your life, and it's kind of a